A very warm welcome to one and all present over here, teachers, school leaders, and all the chairmen, directors. Thank you so much for joining on another Super Sunday workshop. Well, this weekend, I think most of you will be there in some kind of a celebrating mode. This happy Tamil New Year, and then we had a happy Vishu. So, wishes for all the people across whoever is celebrating one or the other thing right now. It's all about one common thing about harvesting. It's all related to agriculture. India is all about farming, and we are very rich with resources. So that's with that note, I wanted to start today. Thank you so much for joining on another Sunday. It's quite difficult to take efforts to come and sit in front of the computer even on a Sunday after a hectic week, and especially leaders. We completely understand, and keeping that in mind, I'll make sure this session is as well very crisp, clear, short, and sweet to tell all the points that are actually required right now. There are a lot of circulars that's getting released by CBSE, but this particular session could be one point of exposure about what these circulars actually talk about. Now, when I say CBSE, I'm talking about Ministry of Education over here, and all the government related circulars or the policy makers, whatever policies are released, these are through CBSE and NCRT portals, and these are by government, as these are by government. This does not mean that this is pertaining only to CBSE, it's also for ICSE. I'm mentioning this because some of you wanted to know about ICSE more. It's all one and the same. NEP 2020 is common for all the boards across. Yeah, let's get on with today's topic. So today's topic is all about skill modules. And when we talk about skill modules, NEP 2020 first, when they released the document in the year 2019, in the month of December, 66 pages document, I think some of you might know about it. They spoke about the categorization of grades: foundation, preparatory, middle, and secondary. And yeah, we also had Anganwadi coming over there, right? So this particular categorization led to the approaches, the different approaches that we will have for each of these category. And in that way, initially it was announced that from grade 8 onwards, there'll be an option given to children to choose some of the skill subjects. However, with further enhancements, with further research, it was found that the skill subjects could be adopted right from grade 6 onwards itself. And further documents spoke about skill subjects getting introduced from grade 6 onwards itself. And in fact, if it is from grade 8, they even write it in the bracket like this is only for grade 8 and above. I think most of you might know about it. So now we are going to continue and know about these skill modules. If at all everybody is able to see me and hear me clearly, it's great. If not, this video is being live streamed on YouTube. You can have an access to this particular YouTube link a little later as well. It'll be there on SuperTeacher official YouTube channel, and you can access it anytime. Some of these skill modules are being conducted by SuperTeacher as well. I would like to announce it in the beginning itself. If at all anybody would like to know more about it, and if you want us to come and conduct in your school virtually or physically, please call me. My number will also be there in the inquiry form. Fill up the inquiry form at the end to know more about it. So that's it with respect to the introduction part. Let's directly hit the circular. Now, circular on 6th April, it got released about the skill modules by NEP, and this is how it looks like. And let me share my screen in 2, 1. I hope you'll be able to see the screen. Here we go. Okay. Huh. So this particular circular, I think most of the principals out there would have received. There are many principals out there from Army Public Schools, Kendriya Vidyalaya and Atomic Energy, and private schools as well. If you have not received this, you can go to the CBSE portal or the CBSE website, cbseacademic.nic.in, and there you can click on the circulars tab and you will be getting this right on the top under the training section. So Central Board of Secondary Education, 6th April, circular number 48, 2023. So here we are. So introduction of skill modules for middle school students under NEP 2020. Now, these skill modules, which we are going to talk, has been released since a quite a long time. However, whenever there is an updation of content, whenever there is an updation of support for that particular skill module, they release the circular once more. And this has been released multiple times. I'll repeat it. Whatever skill modules that are coming across, released by Government of India CBSE, there will be good number of support materials. For example, if you talk about coding getting introduced, then they'll have a proper coding content given to us or given to the schools in order to implement it. School principals might ask, like, how would we actually do it? One second. Uh, Okay, how would we actually implement it? In that case, you would require teacher training materials or teacher materials, lesson plan sort of a thing, and even that will be provided. What's going to be really a difficult task is how do you put it in one academic year? It's like it's already you are power packed with all the periods. I'm very sure like in a year, if you have 180 weeks or like 180 days in one academic year, effective days of your academic year plan, it becomes very difficult for the principals out there to have all these ad hoc activities, or we call this to be extras or co-curricular activities. But right now, according to NEP, like academics and skills, they are all coming very close to each other. So the point is, when you talk about knowledge and skills or concept and skills, what's more really important? NEP says that both are equally important. According to National Curriculum Framework 2005, content and knowledge was given more importance than the skills, but right now they both are traveling on the same path. In fact, at same level, like two tracks of or one railway track, to whatever you call that. Yeah. So the point here is, when we talk about skill modules, one very good thing is at current stage, students have the choice or ability to choose on what they want to learn. That's one important thing that I want to highlight. So in this particular circular, they have given all the rules and regulations more or less in a very brief manner. Let us try to declutter it and understand what exactly it is all about. We would have made the presentation, but we felt that directly reading the circular is anytime better. So that's the reason here we are. And this particular circular talks about skill modules by according to NEP 2020. And let me directly get into the topics. So here we have artificial intelligence, beauty and wellness, design thinking and innovation. So when we talk about AI, many schools, I think you're already doing it. And some of the schools have planned to implement AI and coding into your curriculum itself. So if you are already using a curriculum which has got AI and coding, it'll become very easy for you to implement this. Remember, one academic year, we need not do only one skill modules. We could do multiples of them. So suppose if you're doing AI, doesn't mean that you cannot take block printing. That could be part of it or part of another skill module. But they have mentioned certain rules like you have to attain or take another skill module after completing one skill module completely. Now, I don't really understand the meaning out of it, but anyways, we'll continue further. Design thinking and innovation has always been a key focus since 2014-15 because of the introduction of Atal Tinkering Labs. Design thinking actually talks about a methodology to solve a particular problem by empathizing with the problem or identifying the problem. We'll get into the details of design thinking as well. Then we have financial literacy. Some schools have additional book on financial literacy. Even I am in the process of making one of them. We have handicrafts. I really love this particular topic because handicrafts in India has got its own heritage. And this culture of handicrafts in almost every nook and corner of our country has been present through one or the other art forms. That's a good topic. Information technology, ICT or computer science is more or less already existing, but here it's going to focus about the digital literacy into the current trends. What exactly do we have right now? And based on that, the content is getting drafted. All these modules will have the content through a link, which I'll be sharing in few seconds. Then we have marketing and commercial application, mass media, travel and tourism. So these three can come under one topic. Now, when I talk about topic over here, these topics or the modules are kind of similar in nature. So suppose if you want to get into mass media, it is ideal if you complete marketing, commercial application, and then mass media. And that's how the announcements talks about. Then coding, data science, augmented and virtual reality. Today in this session, in order to just not talk about the circular and speak more about what exactly Government of India is doing towards AR, VR, I would like to show you one very nice application called as ePathshala AR. Some of the teachers or principals out there might really know about it. However, let us do practically over here right now to show you some. If you do not know, then you'll be really surprised about it. Augmented and virtual reality. Then we have digital citizenship. This is something really unique. Life cycle of medicine and vaccine. Things you should know about keeping medicines at home. What to do when doctor is not around. Everything related to medicines. All the three topics present out there, including humanity and COVID-19. So this is something that will instill some level of seriousness among the children on medical applications. Many students are not exposed to medicine at all till probably the 11th or 12th standard. and then they think like, do I really want to become a doctor? And I got a good score, that's why I want to become a doctor. So all these things can be nulled out if we get exposed to all these things a little early, and probably sixth standard is the right time. Let's think about it. Then blue pottery, block printing could be considered under one area. Block printing, though it is considered more of a computation thing, however, it's all about 3D designing and printing out. So let us see how the content looks like. Maybe there'll be a connection. As of now, there is not even a single connection among each of these topics. They are kind of logically present one after the other, but there's no progression shown as such. That means if I read something related to rockets, then the next chapter, I'm having another module called as satellites. Is rockets and satellites connected? Logically, yes, they are connected, but the content that's given to us, no, they are not. They are not having any sort of a progression. We have checked all the content, and that's how I'm being very confident about it. So food preservation, baking, again another topic. Then herbal heritage, khadi, mask making, all these things could be fit into handicrafts as well. So it completely depends upon a school's leader or a teacher to decide on what are the topics that you could select and go ahead with this. What's really interesting is all of these topics, embroidery, Kashmiri embroidery, application of satellites, whatever we talk about, all of these needs to get completed within a certain time frame. And according to CBSE right now, each of these modules could be completed within 12 to 15 hours. Let me show you that. The skill modules are of 12 to 15 hours duration. Now, if it is hours, approximately it is like, say, 15 hours means 30 periods. 30 periods in an academic year is quite a difficult task. You have approximately 40 to 45 weeks in an academic year for effectively completing your academic session. Even if I ignore some of the sports day, annual day, even if I do that, hypothetical situation, which should not be done, you might end up having another 3 or 4 weeks effectively. That's again quite a stretch. But the point is, with that particular stretch, 30 periods is very difficult and you really need to plan. Um, we will talk about the planning little later, but one nice thing about this is 70% of the time duration they've given devoted to hands-on activities and 30% for the theory. Now, when we talk about hands-on activity, now there's going to be huge dependency on materials. For example, pottery ka materials, how will you procure? A school is going to have a huge task on procuring the materials itself. I'm not really sure. I'm just trying to provide an exposure over here, but with whatever knowledge that extends in my case with limited experience, it's not that easy for a school to arrange the materials for each and everything. I'm very sure all the principals on the other side are thinking what particular skill subject over here will have very less dependency on hardware materials. So in that case, you could choose artificial intelligence. It's completely computer based and the school has got computer science lab. Coding is completely related to computer science lab. Like that, you can actually think over it and choose the skill modules accordingly. Now, the skill modules can be chosen by the students. Of course, the school can also choose it. At least in the initial years, that should be allowed. And I think nowhere it's a restriction. Let me continue. The schools can use the bagless days or the vacation time, winter break, autumn break, summer break, or summer camps, or activity periods, etc., to teach the skill modules. All these days of winter break, autumn break, summer break, you already have one or the other program running. So you might have to compromise on those a little bit here and there. Well, I can support, or many organizations like us can support in conducting summer camps for some of these activities. In my case, I can be confident to tell you that I can conduct coding, artificial intelligence, design thinking, digital citizenship, data science, everything that's related to computer science. And we have all the lessons already made. We have literacy, citizenship, programming, artificial intelligence, data science. This is SuperTeacher curriculum actually. That's why I'm immediately opening it up and showing it to you. So you can be confident that this will be covered by us. I mean, we have an expertise. I'm advertising a little bit about myself, but it is just not me. There are many other organizations also who can support you in conduction of all these things. And we could do it physically or virtually in case we can have a discussion about the same. And this summer camp itself, probably you could use that as an opportunity and immediately complete at least 1 or 2 modules. During summer vacation, the students are kind of free at least 2 to 3 hours in a day. This could be done one of these vacation times. Let's go further. Schools can also explore to have a regular period of for selective modules to encourage more students to opt from this academic session. That means post-school activity sort of a thing. Post-school activity will have a lot of other logistics involved. You need to arrange the school buses or the parents have to come back, but that could be a good idea. Right after the school, you stay back for some time, complete one of the modules, and then you can go back home. That's a good idea. School students are free to opt any skill modules in grade 6, 7, and 8. I'll be showing you the links. They have very nicely given the link as well. I'll also be showing from CBSE website, how do we go to all these areas. And these links will be shared with all of you over the chat in a few minutes. Yeah, so students can take the next skill. The students are free to opt more than one skill module in a class, but may not be encouraged to do more than one skill module simultaneously. I'm not really sure about this point, why they mentioned it. I think if the students have the ability to complete AI and pottery, or AI and handicrafts simultaneously, I think it's okay, right? I mean, maybe there is another logic behind it, not sure. But this is what they have mentioned in the circular. And it's may not. Maybe we could continue doing that. So you can think about it. So probably some schools can have choice given to half the class for AI, half the class for pottery. But some principals have even told us that, told me when we had a conversation, that it becomes really very difficult when the choice is given to the students because the control is not present. Too many logistics once more coming into picture. But end of the day, it's all about finding the interests that the children have, and interest can get imbibed once the children are exposed to certain skill module. If they might not know what handicraft is, so they might not be interested. What if after introduction of handicrafts they are really interested about it? So it's up to the school's logic of, choosing the skill modules, or allowing the children to choose that. Students can take up the next skill module of the same topic, or can take up the skill module of another topic after completing the previous skill module. Now, according to the document shared, I'm not really sure what do they actually mean by topic, but I think it is related to, with, say, for example, medicine. We had this topic of life cycle of medicine and vaccine. The children are ideally supposed to start life cycle of medicine and vaccine before actually beginning what to do when doctor is not around. It's not like, let me do what to do when doctor is around, not around, and let me go through life cycle of medicine and vaccine. According to the content given, maybe I can do it, not a problem. But according to the rules stated over here, maybe that's not what they mean. It needs to follow an order. The school may hire teachers, very important point, and logistically, of course, may hire teachers or trainers for teaching these skill modules, which would come at an additional cost. You all know about it. However, the existing teachers can also be deputed for teaching of these modules. A suggestive list of existing subject teachers who can be engaged to teach the skill modules is being shared for reference in Annexure A. I did not find the Annexure A in this circular on the website. It is directly downloaded. If you received as an attachment in your mail, please check that and put it on the chat over here if you have that. And if you have Annexure A and Annexure B, please share it over here on the chat so that everybody knows what exactly they're talking about. Yeah, the assessment of skill modules is to be done by the school. Yes, of course, but the guidelines and the modalities are not yet given. It will be eventually uploaded on CBSE portal. The skill modules can be offered by the school through respective hobby clubs. Many schools have got their hobby clubs, innovation clubs, and skill clubs if available, or else it could be a post-school activity. Now, these clubs, to run them, you need some resource. So I really feel that there is investment involved in one or the other way. But what I really, found surprising is no fee is to be paid by the affiliated schools to CBSE for introducing any skill module, and fees need not be collected from the students also. That is what they're mentioning. So school can offer skill modules even through hubs of learning or under skill hub initiative, which I'll be showing you what exactly it is all about. So schools who wish to introduce the skill modules from class 6 to 8 should provide information details to CBSE. Yes, and that can be done through the knowledge and skill hub. So you can directly click on the link, which will take you to the login ID, which looks something like this. And once you have your user ID password through which got generated through the affiliation number, I think principals would have it. I'm not sure if the teachers are having it. You can log in into the portal. I do not have, as I'm not part of any school. So that's the reason I'm not able to open it. However, in the circular, they have very nicely given the screenshots also on how to access that particular portal. So it's like more like a user manual. They have given how it is supposed to be done. So you have user manual, then the subject master, student registration, courses needs to be added, update result and generate certificate. So here in this particular case, suppose if any school is completing a certain module, the principal or the teacher might have to add the students who have completed that and submit it, which will generate a certificate also for each of these students, and which can be downloaded in the form of a report and submitted to CBSE for further affiliation process in the subsequent years. Already there's a rule of continuous professional development programs for the school teachers and the leaders, in fact. Now there's another upload process that's coming into picture. CBSE is massively working, very vigorously working. Sometimes it's very good, but sometimes it's too overwhelming. And especially in an academic year in the month of April, May, it becomes like continuous waves of announcements which are very distinctive, which are very unique from each other. So yeah, there's no other option. Somewhere or the other we have to manage it. So skill modules also, let me go back to the circular. They have not given any pointer that you need to complete one module, two modules. They've just overarchingly written as few modules. So probably you could have 2 or 3 modules, according to me. I mean, it's quite possible if I so here we have this particular link. The study materials of all the skill modules are also present in the website, which I would like to open after a few minutes. The study material for the skill module has been prepared in collaboration with respective sector skill councils, industry representatives, organizations. So this is annexed at annexure B. You could make a note of it. And if you have an attachment that you received in the mail, it's great. Please share it over here as well. The study material has been prepared in simple language and is primarily activity based. So they say 70% hands-on activity, 30% is completely on theoretical part of it. ICSE also released a curriculum on robotics and artificial intelligence. So, and that particular curriculum is very closely adapted from the document that's released. So now let us get into the details of all these topics. That's it. So this is mainly with respect to the announcements. Yeah. So now let me click on the link that takes me to the place where I can. So skill education book and support material. Okay, this is how it gets loaded up. And let me share the link on the chat as well for everyone. Some of you might have, some of you might not. Okay. And oh, thank you so much, Annapurna ma'am. Means a lot. I hope everybody's able to see that. You could download it. Okay. 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 So now let's get into the details. So here in this case, when I click on 6 to 8, 9 to 10, 11 to 12, of course, you have got the other sessions also. When I click on 2018-19, I would like to just show you, you can see that all the skill modules back in those days were only for 9th and 10th. And you were choosing one of them or two of them, depending on the school's requirement. Sometimes it's artificial intelligence, sometimes it's ICT, mass media, automobile technology, and you've got all these things. So 2018-19 itself, you had got huge content. 1920, again, they had a classification of 9, 10, 11, 12, and there was a huge content. It kept on increasing till 21-22, where in 21-22, they introduced for the first time 6 to 8 curriculums, where they had handicraft, coding, data science, financial literacy, which is the last academic year. But now in 2022-23, again, 6 to 8, you have got the same replica. You didn't have anything much of an addition, but now, I'm sorry, now is 2023-24, which is the upcoming academic year, which is going to start, which has almost started. You have got middle school level. These are the topics. So when we look into the 33 content or 33 skill modules that are released, not all of them have got the content so far, and it is getting updated. Some of them have content from each grade. So here 6 to 8, they've got only one PDF. The moment I click on that, you'll be able to see only one PDF coming. And in this one PDF itself, the teachers have to go through it, prepare a lesson plan, and then complete this. Yeah. But in case of, say, for example, let me click on coding. The moment I click on coding, you'll be able to see class 6, class 7, class 8. You've got student handbook, you've got faculty handbook, project booklet is also there, teacher resource. Now, once I click on class 6 student handbook, of course, you know, the whole book gets loaded up. But what's really important to know over here is this particular book over here which is present is by Microsoft, and Microsoft has a coding platform called as Make Code. Teachers, if you know about Make Code, please put it on the chat. uh, the Make Code content is very nicely drafted, but when you actually start implementing it, I really didn't find, I mean, I found a lot of errors here and there. So for example, let me quickly show you this Make Code platform. You have got, what will you learn in this chapter? Everything is fine, blah, blah, blah. Let me go to the first chapter itself. So here they talk about introduction to coding and the questions are present. But when we actually get into the block coding part, they initially begin with the topic of, let's have a Minecraft program. Now, when you talk about Minecraft program, Minecraft is an application of Microsoft. And in order to access Minecraft content, you need to have a Microsoft school account. That means the domain. So every child needs to have @ of outlook.com, @hotmail.com. No, it should be @ of dps.com or @ of spinla.com. Your school name with Microsoft tag over there. It should be a Microsoft domain. Only then you'll be able to use Minecraft. So the chapter is all about Minecraft, but the exercises that they are giving is all about Arcade, Microsoft Arcade. It's another platform altogether. So this disparity, I'm not really sure how the coding teachers are able to manage, or computer science teachers. And that is the reason I did not find, coding content to be quite homogeneous in nature. This too much of mismatches here and there. But one good thing about the content is they are very clearly mentioned. Minecraft is just one of the platforms for block coding. You can use many similar platforms available online for block coding, like Scratch or code.org. These are open sources. So if at all you have Scratch content happening in your school, you don't have to really follow Make Code content. You can actually follow Scratch and you can submit the certificate over there. The principles, when you're going to upload the certificate, it's not going to ask about what are the content that you have covered. It's going to ask about, did you complete it or not? Did the students undergo the assessments or not? That's it. So you can complete that and you can upload it. So in fact, it's recommended in all the chapters. So this is something that I really found, with respect to Make Code. If at all there is anyone who's saying about, have done this Microsoft, I would request you to please contribute to my points on the chat. If you feel that whatever I'm saying, like, no, sir, everything is fine, I think you should read it one more time, please let me know. I'll definitely go through the content once more. So I would like to quickly show you grade 7 handbook for a moment. Let us see if we have that, parity or disparity present over here. So in grade 7, again, I'm opening the content. But one really good thing is that they have got content of 6th, 7th, 8th individually present. And see, Minecraft Education Edition, Make Code, and GitHub. GitHub is altogether a separate portal under which the students can have an account. Now, this is with respect to artificial intelligence and coding. So variables in real life. So here they talk about welcome to Minecraft Education Edition. Okay, it's all about Education Edition. And they come down and they come down. It's all about Minecraft Education Edition. Again, they mentioned that it could be done on Scratch as well. I come down. And when I come down at the last, there is an activity given, which is on, see, create a program in Arcade to display square of numbers from 1 to 10. The whole chapter does not cover Arcade at all. But the topic or the project is on Arcade. Arcade is free of cost. You don't have to register as such, but the children need to have Microsoft account. Only then they can do it. So if a school out there is getting confused with the coding curriculum, don't worry about it. It's totally fine, first of all. And if you would like to get trained from us, I can have 1 or 2 sessions. Having said that, Scratch code.org, if you're already doing it, let us continue with that. Don't get confused. And anytime, it's my personal opinion, Scratch has got thousands of functionalities more than Microsoft Arcade or Minecraft. And the way you explain programming from Scratch is anytime more scalable. That means you can show a lot of other options also, which are very similar to Python programming or JavaScript. The syntax, the flow of algorithm, everything remains very close to each other. But in case of Make Code, introduction of variable itself has got a lot of complications. Not complications, a different way of doing it. I shouldn't say complications, but yeah, if you ask me from students' perspective, what is the best thing to do, Scratch or Make Code, I would suggest for Scratch. As an adult, I find Make Code to be, with a lot of options of customization. So if I'm really good at with programming, probably I can get into make code and learn things over it. So this is with respect to make code. Let's go further. I would like to show you the other topics also. Data science is class 8 to 12. However, in my case, we have introduced data science in our curriculum in a systematic manner, in a gradual systematic manner from grade 3 onwards. And here you can see that we have got data science and digital citizenship. If anybody out there would like to know our content of data science and digital citizenship, artificial intelligence, programming and literacy, please contact us. You can please fill up the inquiry form and you can have an access to all our content. Of course, I'll be charging a nominal amount, which I would like to be very clear about, because this is a content that's created by us, our team, with a lot of hard work, and we could definitely give an access to it. But the only good thing about our content and the one in comparison to CBSE is that in our case it's written as if it's a proper chapter, proper lesson. But in case of the skill modules out there, it is more like explanation of the content. That's it, not much. Let's go further. And for that, I would like to go here. Financial literacy, class 6, 7, 8. I would like to show you design digital citizenship. It's a very good, I found this content to be really unique, very nice, because all these content that's there for digital citizenship, it's there in the form of a presentation. So you can see that, this is the content. It's around 100 pages ka book with 16 chapters present, and there's a good progression maintained. So if at all anybody is going to take digital citizenship in your school, and if your teachers are well equipped with that, you would find this content to be really good. I really like this. It is just not about the presentation. Even the questions asked, even the way it is explained, it's done in a good manner, but the explanation is very, very short. Very short. That's the only concern that I have. Within 100 pages, if they have completed 16 chapters, I think you can think about it. Yeah. And in like most of the pages are like this, notes and additional resources. So this is with respect to digital citizenship. I'm showing all the content that can be done without the use of computers or any hardware. Sorry, with the use of computers and not with the use of any other hardware. Now, next comes augmented and virtual reality. You've got level 1 and level 2. This can be completed in one academic year itself, according to me. The content is not that difficult, and they've given in a systematic manner. Even for AR, VR, we have the content drafted, so you can actually get into the details. I believe that this content of AR, VR will have an extension. Everything that's mentioned over here is not that detailed, and it will definitely have a little more extension. Tourism is only for 6, 7, and 8 will get released according to me. We need to wait for some more time. So please do not choose tourism as of now. Maybe you can choose it for the first year for 6th. I'm very sure for 7 and 8 also we are going to get it. Beauty and wellness. This has got a lot of relevance to digital citizenship as well, where they talk about, the way you appear, the personality development, basically. I really like that. They have even got the table manners, the table etiquettes, and email etiquettes and things like that. So beauty and wellness is just not about appearance. It's also about how you behave. And this is very good and need of the hour. Some schools have all these things in the form of life skill activity, right? Yes, Reena ma'am, we could do that. So let's go down. Then mass media, of course, one content over here for 6 to 8, not very detailed, maybe just an introduction. According to me, we don't require 12 hours to explain mass media. It could be done within 4 to 5 hours. The content is not that deep. Whatever we have gone through, it's quite basic in nature. Most of the students actually know about mass media, whatever they've covered here, through the social studies subject itself. In science, they talk about how the satellites work. In social studies, you talk about the different modes of communication. Mass media is TV, newspapers. It's more or less the same, not much of a difference that I found. So in case if you want to complete another module in a very short period of time, mass media could be another interesting topic. Now, some people were asking about financial literacy. You've got 3 content. To be very honest with you, I have just skimmed through the content. I'm not really confident about how strong the content is. This was released in 6th April. And from that time onwards, whatever I was able to go through, I went through. So I'm not really sure how good this is or how bad this is. I'm very sure the teachers will be able to manage it by going through. Coding and AI is something that I can be very confident about. So as of now, I want to park financial literacy. In case if anybody would like to know the details of financial literacy, please do let us know on the inquiry form. I'll be releasing it. we could have a separate call discussing about it over a Zoom or over a phone call. We have I'm coming to, yeah, so marketing is one important aspect which everybody should know. Selling yourself, this topic does not just cover about how to market a product, it also talk about how to market yourself. Now in this case, a super teacher as an organization, when we have been doing it, even for schools for that matter, you need to continuously be there in the market. Now when you say be there in the market, some way or the other, your end users or your clients or your customers should know about you. Now how would they know about you? Maybe they're seeing your hoarding, DPS Bangalore East, this is the banner present over here. You have got the Oxford International School Kozhikode, it's present over here. Atomic Energy, for Army Public School Atomic Energy, there's no advertisement as such present out there, but marketing is all about, like, now in case of my organization, Super Sunday Workshop is something I'm doing so that I'm regularly being with all of you. You regularly see me. I'm trying to bring my credibility over here. So marketing is more of a responsibility. It's more of a responsibility that needs to be imbibed among the children to be there. Now, where to be there, it's the student's choice. So I really found this content to be interesting, not very well organized as such, but good enough to explain the children. You don't have to give this to students directly. This can be done on a digital board as well. And they talk about how, supply chain management works. How does, the financial transactions help? All these things at grade 6 level. Now grade 6 to 8 level. That's the reason I find this to be good. Yeah, so that's with respect to marketing. 6 content is there, 7 and 8 will also come according to me because it has got some kind of a continuity. Then embroidery, it takes a lot of time. Blue pottery, it's taking a lot of time. Food, it is taking a lot of time. But herbal heritage, mask making, herbal heritage was all about the agriculture, again the farming. How do you use different food items? What do you make out of it? I shouldn't really call this as Ayurveda, but it's heavily focusing on the benefits of plants. And so they also talked about, what is the importance of cactus present in a home. What is the importance of banana plantation in your farming? How easy it is, how you can sell it, all these things. So I found this to be good, but I do not know. I think I do not have an expertise in this. I'm not really able to comment in detail about it. But I found this to be really good with respect to implementation point of view. Then making of a graphic novel, mass media. Then we have rocket, satellite, application of satellites. Again, these are common content. If I click on download, we've got rockets. They talk about whatever ISRO has done. See, this is directly from ISRO document. And what do you mean by rockets? You can explain this. It's also present in your science or social studies textbook, and you can continue to learn about it. That's it. Now, upper niche, if you get into all these aspects, apart from ICT, if anybody's looking out for ICT, everything else is present. Okay, so in the circular, when we look into these topics, artificial intelligence, handicrafts, almost everything is present, food in one way or the other. But this ICT or information technology is the only thing that's not explicitly mentioned out there. Maybe eventually it will get uploaded. So this is with respect to the complete skill education books and support material. That's it. So these are the major things, teachers. Now comes the aspect of how to conduct this and how to complete this. Yes, okay, yeah, Vaishali ma'am, you're absolutely right. All these things, whatever we are discussing right now, um, we, I mean, this is directly related to the initiative of vocational subjects. Now, when we talk about vocational subjects, they are more hands-on in nature rather than theoretical. For example, we all talk about circuit theory. We say that we need to connect the switches, wires with the batteries. You connect all of them and the light glows. That's a good point. But do we really do it in the class? No, we do not do it. But do we really have the scope to do in the class? No, even that is not possible. And in order to make that a little affordable, I should say, not affordable, applicable to be done in the class, they came up with a very good idea of augmented and virtual reality. Some of you might actually know about it, and some of you would be exposed to this for the first time. From grade 6 to 10 onwards, NCERT, because they are the ones who made the books, they have come up with this option of barcodes initially. I think some of you might know that on the first page of every chapter, I'm having an NCRT book in my hand. You used to have a barcode present on the top. Okay, now it is converted to QR code. See, which you can see. Generally, you can use this QR code to make payments and all, right? So such kind of QR codes. And the good part is the QR code ka number is also present below every NCRT book. Please take this very seriously. E-Pathshala karke there is an app, and there is an app called as E-Pathshala AR, two different mobile applications. E-Pathshala mein, whenever you scan this QR code or enter the code, everything that's related to that particular chapter, it could be an interactive module, it could be some kind of an exercise where the students select the right answer, or it could be an audio video content also for that particular chapter. You will be able to access all of those things from ePathshala. You can go to ePathshala portal online on the computer, directly display it on the digital board and do it, or else it could be done on the app as well. I did not find app to be so fast. The loading was comparatively little slow. However, the content is all present on the ePathshala portal. Well, these are actually linked to Diksha portal as well. So if you directly go to Diksha portal and start a particular chapter, there also you'll be able to find all of these things. I hope some of you are already using it. Ma'am, I'm coming to that in some time. So now quickly before going to the next part of skill modules, I would like to show Annapurna ma'am, ebook is there, and under ebook you will also have audio video content. If you're not able to find it in ePathshala app, please uninstall it and reinstall it, or else update the app. Audio video content is present over there. You need to select the right option over there. And considering this to be a small workshop right now, I'm not able to get into a lot of details. So let me share my screen and show you how this application actually works. If you have not done this, okay, let me stop share the screen over here. I click here and okay, share the screen. I hope it is visible. Yeah, in few seconds it will be visible. That's great. So I come to the ePathshala. So ePathshala AR, it will get displayed on the screen right now. You can see this particular app. I'm just highlighting the app. I hope everybody's able to see this now. Correct. So this is how it looks like. Okay, so there are two apps actually, PM eVidya AR and ePathshala AR. Actually, the content is working in both the case, so you can download any one of them. And officially, both are from NCRT. I do not know why there is two releases, maybe some error corrections. So you can click on the app. I am using PM eVidya AR, and this is how it looks like. And you can actually select a class. Say right now, 9th and 10th is visible, but according to whatever is present on online in the circular, it mentions that it's present for all the grades. You can select class 9. I'm selecting science or maths. Maths should also be visible over here. I am selecting science as of now. So I'm selecting the chapter. For example, let me select the first chapter, matter in our surroundings. Okay. The moment I click on matter in our surroundings, we can select the topic. Now, once I select the topic over here, say dissolution of salt in water. Okay. Now, this particular activity, the moment I click over here, I'm clicking on load activity. Now, what's really interesting is the app turns on the camera, and you can see that we have the grade 9 book, NCRT book, and I am opening the chapter, and they've even given about the details of ePathshala in the backside of NCRT page. Okay, so let me go to the activity. This is done by the company called as Vuforia, and that's the reason the company name is present out there. We don't have to be worried about it. So here you can see figure 1.1. When we dissolve salt in water, you just keep the mobile over there, and you can see that the things become augmented in nature. I hope everybody's able to see this. And I am, so there are instructions also that are coming regularly, which I am not able to show. Yeah, I'm able to show now. I'm sharing the audio. So I click on continue, and you can see that the whole activity became, augmented. This is called as augmented reality. This activity helps learners to explain the particle. Okay, come on. Okay, I just click on close activity for a moment, and we go to the process, the second one, and load activity.
We know that matter is made up of particles. This activity helps learners to visualize how small are these particles of matter.
Correct. Okay, continue. So I click on continue.
Drag the spatula into beaker A to add 2 to 3 small crystals of potassium permanganate into it.
So here I have got the spatula present over here. I drag it. Come on. I put some potassium permanganate and let's see. So if I have
Now,
to,
click on the glass rod to stir the mixture and observe the color change.
okay, so there's a glass rod present over here. You might be able to see or you might not be able to see. Yeah, that's okay. If you're using Diksha app, that's totally fine. But if AR VR is present out there, then that's great. That's it.
Now, click on the pipette to take out a
So we take out the pipette and we do it. So here in this case, so we could do all these one by one. In fact, we can even come out of AR, and this could be a virtual reality also, which could be done. And you can put it on your face. What do you call that as VR box, virtual
Now,
reality
click
packs
on the test
box.
tube to add.
I'm closing the activity and I'm going to stop share the screen for a moment. Yeah. So why I'm speaking about this particular app in specific is when we talk about AR, VR, augmented virtual reality as an experiment, as a project done by NCRT out there, they felt that what if I give the same content to the students, even they can make their own activities. So that's how AR, VR came into existence over here. So this was developed in the year 2018-19, and due to the pandemic, many people did not use it, but quite a lot of you might already know about it. So the whole aspect of completing that activity in 3 periods could be reduced to 1 period itself if there is such kind of a presentation. Of course, the span of students is going to get increased, blah, blah, blah. And if you have a science lab where you can do such simple experiments, it's great. But what about digestive system? What about a reaction in chemistry, which you cannot really do it on the lab with concentrated acid and things like that could be done using such kind of apps, right? So this is AR VR coming into picture, right? So this is majorly for the teachers. And as we were discussing about augmented virtual reality in the skill modules, I thought I should show this, and if the teachers who do not know about it can actually start using it. It's PM eVidya AR, or else you could download ePathshala AR. Download ePathshala separately, ePathshala AR separately, and you will get all the details out there. So let me share my screen once again and just have the closing remarks for the skill modules. So once we get into the details of all these skill modules, one very important challenge is equipping the teachers with all these aspects. Now, how do you do that? It's going to be a very difficult challenge. And with minimum conversations that I've had with over 100, 150 principals, we are all already power packed, and it becomes very difficult for the leaders out there to include all these things. Maybe I could be supportive from SuperTeacher, as an organization point of view, to make sure that you're able to implement this during the summer camp. I think summer vacation we could conduct few summer camps, and we could just get your children engaged and complete 1 or 2 modules and finish with it off completely. For the next academic year, focus on academics alone. But when we speak about focus on academics alone and not finish off with skill modules, I also want to highlight that going ahead over the period of time, with the implementation of competency based education, little by little, academics and skills both are going to be given equal importance, because only then the competency of a students will get developed. So according to CBSE and NCRT, competency is measure of knowledge, skill, and attitude of a particular child. How much knowledge do they have in whatever they are doing? Doing is all about skills. So knowledge, skills, and how interestingly they do that, with what level of enthusiasm that they do that. That is the attitude. So knowledge, skill, and attitude, all the 3 contribute to the competency of a particular child. And right after competency, there is a proficiency thing which is coming into picture. So in order to imbibe about competency based education, NEP 2020, and right now the mandatory CPD, I think most of you might already know about it, and some of the teachers out there have even completed the sessions. So there are regular batches that are happening on continuous professional development program for various schools, Army Public Schools, for Kendriya Vidyalayas, Atomic Energy, where we are conducting as per CBSE norms with a certain amount. I don't want to discuss that right now in this session, but if you have any queries related to that, you can please fill it up on the inquiry form and we could conduct the CPD for your school also separately. So this is how the whole skill modules have been drafted. Last point of submission, I would like to repeat that. You have all the screenshots present over here at the bottom of the circular itself, where they have given properly how to register and how to update the things. I would very strongly recommend one of the school teachers to take in charge of this, be in charge of this, and add the students, upload the certificates, and ensure that at least 80 to 90% of your school students have completed 3 or 4 skill modules at least. It's quite possible. How many periods per week should we allot for skill subject? According to me, in a month, even if you allot 2 periods, that should be sufficient, kind of. Not, yeah, 2 or 3 periods in case of 10 months, like 30 periods, because it's all about 12 to 15 hours. So 30 periods is something that I'm looking at, right? Difficult to actually think even, but I think you should be able to do it. You will be able to do it. So that's it. I have almost done everything. So circular debriefing is also done. And these are the screenshots. I would request you to please go through. I'm not able to understand the screenshots because I'm not able to log in, as I do not have an ID. In case if a school is having login ID and password and would like to share it with me, for me to go through and then explain you, I would be honored to do that. I'm being very open about that as well. So that's it from my side, teachers. From SuperTeacher side, it was great interacting with you on another Super Sunday. As skill modules became more like a mandate, we prioritized skill modules announcement on a Super Sunday workshop. Ideally, this is not a workshop. It is just a brief orientation about the release of a circular. And hence, I really wouldn't be able to provide you certificate for this particular Sunday. Please don't mistake me on that. But from next Sunday onwards, you will have the certification done. For this, maybe on requirement, I can share a certificate which states that you attended the session. So that could be done. But however, the certification of accounting it for your CPD, this certification may not be valid. So I'm just mentioning that openly. If any school out there would like to undergo the CPD training from us, please contact us and we'll be happy to conduct for your school. And if there are individual teachers who are participating, you can actually let us know. For knowing more about such sessions and whenever it is happening, you can join the Telegram group. The Telegram link is coming on the chat, and you can fill the inquiry form where my phone number is also present. You can directly contact me. Sure, Nina ma'am, if you're insisting on that, you will be getting it. I'll do that. I'll do that. Yeah, I hope everybody got a clarity. So that's it from my side, teachers. If you have any queries on modules, skill modules, please contact us. We'll be there to support you. We are conducting such workshops, and we are ready to help the school in the best way possible. One way I'm trying to prove our credibility with the schools, that we are really good people out there to help you in the best way possible. And you can be sure about the implementation process with the sessions that you have already seen. And the second aspect is I am also looking forward for a lot of collaborations and relationship with the school leaders in order to develop your schools in a manner of your vision. So that is the reason all these Super Sunday workshops and the regular talks keep happening. So this is not some kind of a marketing gimmick or something like that. Whatever is present on the piece of paper, black and white, is spoken black and white on the screen as well. Yeah, that's it from my side. It was great interacting with one and all. Namaste. I'll see you in a next workshop. Next Super Sunday workshop is going to be focused on leaders, school leaders, about leadership training, a continuous professional development program for school leaders. So if anybody's interested out there, teachers can also participate, of course, HODs, vice principals, and everyone. We'll be conducting a very good session, and it'll be quite beneficial. Thank you so much. Have a nice Sunday. Bye, everyone. Yeah.